All right. One thing that I should have given you here is that these are right angles. I might do that by drawing in the right angle symbol or stating that it's a square. So we do have right triangles here. So to find the y, we've got both legs as 16.2. Pythagorean theorem, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So here we'll have the hypotenuse, which is y, equal to 16.2 squared plus 16.2 squared. When we square those 16.2, we get 262.44. Add those together. And we get 524.88. And to get rid of squared, we'll square root. And so we get approximately 22.9, or the exact value would be 16.2 times the square root of 2. Now the angles in a triangle add up to 180. And if you have a triangle where two sides are congruent, then the angles across from them are congruent. So this angle and this angle are both x, both congruent. So each of them have to be 45. The angles in a triangle add up to 180. So if you wrote it out as an equation, you could write x plus 90 equals 180. And then solve for x. So 2x plus 90 equals 180. Subtract 90 from each side. And so we get 2x equal to 90. And then divide by 2. And x is 45. So we found both x and y. To classify a triangle based on its angles, if we have all three sides, then we can use this Pythagorean comparison. We're going to compare c squared, in this case 11 squared, or 121, with a squared plus b squared, in this case 6 squared plus 8 squared. 6 squared is 36, 8 squared is 64, add them together you get 100. 121, when we compare that with 100, that's greater than, so that means we have an obtuse triangle. If c squared were less than a squared plus b squared, then it would be acute. And then if c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, then it's a right triangle. Here we're trying to find the distance from a to b. So if I label that as x, BC is also x since they're congruent. We'll substitute them into the Pythagorean theorem. So we have 20 squared equal to x squared plus x squared. 20 squared is 400. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared. Divide both sides by 2, you get 200. And then to get rid of squared, we'll square root. Only a positive answer makes sense here since we're looking at a side length in a triangle. We can rewrite 200 as 100 times 2. So 100 is a perfect square factor, so then square root that, and so we get 10 root 2. Here they tell us that c is the measure of the hypotenuse, so that implies that we have a right triangle, and so we can use the Pythagorean theorem. We have two of the sides given to us, and we're trying to find one of the legs. We're trying to find B. So we'll just substitute in. So 45 squared is 20, 25. 10 squared is 100. We'll subtract 100 from each side. So we got 1925 equal to b squared, and then to get rid of squared, we'll square root. Only a positive answer makes sense here. Square root of b squared is b, and then this one we can rewrite as 25 times 77. 25 is a perfect square factor, so we get 5 square root 77 as the exact answer, and then we can go to our calculator for a decimal approximation. It says to round to the nearest tenth, so approximately 43.9. Here he travels 7 miles east. And then 3 miles north. So this is forming a right triangle. Our goal is to find this distance. So he's leaving from home, going to school, and then going to the golf shop. So we're looking for the distance from home to the golf shop. I'll use c for that hypotenuse. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared. 3 squared plus 7 squared. Square those, you get 49 and 9. Add those together, you get 58. And then to get rid of squared, we'll square root. Only a positive answer makes sense here. And there's no perfect square factors, so you could either write exactly square root of 58, or you could change it to a decimal approximation of about 7.6 miles. On this one, he's got 3 sticks. We're trying to figure out what type of a triangle, or if it would be a right triangle. So the biggest one's the 13, so that's going to go where the c squared is. So if these are a right triangle, it'll be equal. (13 squared, 169. 5 squared is 25. 9 squared is 81. Add those together, you get 106. So this is an obtuse triangle. It is not a right triangle. So will it form a right triangle? No. You could say because the triangle is obtuse. And again, the reasoning we used was that Pythagorean comparison.